Hello, people of the world. Today I'll be reviewing Lego Star Wars ATTE. I think I forget if the name of this is just ATT or Republic ATT. It's been sitting on my desk here for 3 months waiting for me to review it. Anyways, I'll jump right in, get into the minifigures. First off, we have Commander Cody. I think this set instilled the new head mold that has these holes up here for the pieces to attach to. I don't know why they just didn't put them over the circles that were already on the helmet, which are right underneath. It's kind of dumb. I know a lot of people online are complaining about that, but I quite frankly don't care. But yeah, anyways, this is a Commander Cody figure. I know a lot of people wanted to see this guy for a while. Alright, and then you get, I forget if this is a pilot or a gunner. I don't have all my clones memorized. I think this is the gunner. I might be wrong about that, though. I forget exactly my clones, especially, I have the Phase 1, but it's memorized better than Phase 2, but I don't know how big the difference is. Anyways, he has a pistol, same clone face as all the others. Commander Cody is the only one who has a different one, but he is covered in battle damage, which is kind of cool. Yes, that's him. And you have 3 identical ones. The only difference is one of them has a smaller gun than the other 2. But these are just basic, what's the number of the clone division? I know they're like the Utapau troopers, but I forget the exact, like, is it 332nd? I don't think it is. 501st are the blue guys. I don't know. But anyways, there are the guys on Utapau during, like, the scene with Grievous and Obi-Wan and stuff. That is what this set is based off of. But yeah, so these 3 are all identical. I think there's also a 4th one that you can get in the, Star Wars Advent Calendar. So, I've got a bunch of these guys. Then you have droids. You know the droids. You've seen them in like every Lego set. This comes with 3 of them. This is actually quite a good army builder. You do get a lot of forces. It's just, I guess not a good army builder because it's a really expensive set. But, excuse me, it adds a bunch to your army. Anyways, you get a spider droid, or a dwarf spider droid. I quite like this build. Oops, I did not mean to do that. It has a piece on the top that swivels. It's the same turret piece used all over the ATTE. And then its turret can move up and down. The eyes can move independently of it. Though I don't know if the eyes move on the actual spider droids in the movies. I don't think they do. Anyways, yeah, the gun can articulate at 2 different points. You can get this into a lot of positions. And the legs are also quite posable, though if you move them up too high, they come into contact with the corners. Oops. They come into contact with the corners of this and start to fray off in different directions. That might damage them over time. Yeah, no, that guy's leg just came apart. This thing would be very fun to, like, stick on, like, walls and stuff, or, like, over slopes, like, firing down. Anyways, yeah, that's that. Also, I'm actually going to slide this over because there's a bit of a glare. Okay, the lighting conditions in this room are different every single video, and I'm not sure why. Alright, so now we get into the ATTE itself. My favorite thing about this, I'm pretty sure off the bat, is the, what's the word? I can't remember the suspension. The suspension in the legs. How whenever you move it, they, like, but I guess with this position they don't really do it as much, but like when you pick it up, all the legs come in and dangle there, and they all spread out into the position to hold it. The front and back legs don't really move other than back and forth. They don't have too much range of movement. But these legs, the sides, can, when they have an ankle joint, they can go in all sorts of positions, even like twist around themselves. Then they move in and out ever so slightly, like you can see. They do that there, and then front and back. Ankle goes front and back. So yeah, even when it's sitting down, you can like put these into positions, or at least try to use the middle legs to make it look like it's walking. But you can't really get into any positions where the legs are staying up. But still, I do find it really satisfying to lift this thing up and then just plonk it down on the ground. It does tilt very far forward when you are holding it though. If you don't notice how I'm looking at it, there's a carry handle that slides through the middle of the model. It's not actually connected to anything, it's just held in place via physics. Alright, and then I guess we'll go from the front and move back. So, let me get that out of the way. Alright, this big red cockpit section. You've got 4 of these turrets that can all move around and angle. I think the original version of this turret was made for ATTE, so don't quote me on that. I haven't fact-checked it. I'm just assuming it is, though I have gotten this on other sets like that one Dino 2010 helicopter. But anyways, okay, so to get a minifigure into here, this... Okay, it's not as big as I thought. It's been 3 months since I built this. The very front of this slides out. You'd sit a guy in the chair. Here, I'll use this guy's demonstration. Stick him in the chair, and there's just an axle hole there, and so it just slides onto an axle inside and stays in place. And voila, you have a little guy piloting it. And so it's a very seamless way of getting that in there, and so I do very much like that. And then there's not too much else going on at the front other than like there's some little bits sticking out to help with the shaping here. Also these like grates up there also help with that. The shaping and the way they get all this into position is really cool. And we'll get into there just after going over the turret. The turret is fairly, let me get out of the way. The turret is fairly simple. It's very long, lots of technic pieces to extend that. This part swivels up and down, goes side to side. There's a seat, you can put someone up there. I don't remember if in the movies they actually just have someone mounted on top in the turret. I feel like it'll be more enclosed, but I honestly just don't remember if they actually have someone sit up there or not, but this set allows you to put someone up there. Like you just set them down, plonk them up there. There's no studs to hold them in, they just sit there. Then there's 2 spring-loaded shooters on the side. I'm not going to shoot those because they're going to go missing, and then one day I'll accidentally lose them in the vacuum. Anyways, the top opens. These side pieces, they're on ratchets, so they ratchet outward and then turn. And there's a little, like, I forget exactly what these pieces are called, but they have like the little like wall sticking up around them, sort of. And so when this goes in, you sit it onto there, and then when you fold it down on the ratchet joint, it gets this piece, this wedge that sticks out the side to go into the corner there, and it locks it in place so it's not going to move in and out until you fold it back up and then rotate it outward. I just got hair in my mouth while I was explaining that. And you can see how this is just locked in place by an attachment to a Technic pin, and then pieces are built up around it to hold it in. And then, so you can see there's 2 spots you can sit minifigures. Actually, this also comes out. I definitely did not forget about that. Then there's a wrench on there. Go back in. There's 2 thermal detonators mounted on that side. Then a box. And in the box, there are binoculars. I totally did not forget what was in that box. It totally hasn't been 3 months since I've actually inspected the insides of this. Anyways, yeah, then you can see the little holes where the legs come up through. Also, that just made me remember my version of the set. These dark gray pieces that are like on the legs are also in the feet. There's a couple of them in the feet. I got 1 too many in light gray and 1 too little in dark gray. So I had to go through my collection to find one in the dark gray to substitute for the light gray because mine were messed up in the set and I had 1 too many. Or I had 1 in the wrong shade of gray. At least based on what the instructions were saying. Anyways, so also these are all stickers on here. I might have mentioned that, I might not have. I don't think I did, but I probably should have. Anyways, the back function's the same. Oops, but that side didn't. Where you fold up and then ratchet out. And these ones also twist much better than the front ones do because there's, I guess, not as much blocking their range of motion. Oh, I guess the front ones do twist a little bit, I guess. I just didn't twitch this much before. And then these have a lock right there, but it's very loose because it's a clip going into a ratchet. And so it doesn't hold in very tightly, but it still holds. Although it makes it so this back, like, hold on, I'll close this back up to demonstrate, can depress or... Oops, it breaks sometimes, but it can be either like lifted or depressed down. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be up like this. But anyways, yeah, so there's just that slight bit of movement there, in case someone was wondering about that. Anyways, open this up. Again, you can see where the legs rotate down in there. Then there's a little seat here for controlling something. seems to have like a targeting thing on it. Actually, that was not on camera. It seems to be a targeting thing on it, so you can set a clone trooper here and have them control whatever that is. I'm assuming it's the back turrets, maybe, though I'm not sure. Fire hydrant, bunch more seats, random coffee mug, a weapons rack. That's all that's really back here. And then there's also like the hint of you being able to have like a doorway to connect through the middle, but obviously you can't go through there because there's space for the carry handle to slide up and down. Actually, you can see where that slides in there, and that's the thing on top that lets you carry it by. So yeah, that folds up. You put this in here. So yeah, this does have a lot of nooks and crannies. It would be very good to hide drugs in, but other than that, oh, and it's also a good army builder. I do like the display of it too. Sorry, I just got a weird battery warning on my camera. Yeah, so you can take this off. I don't know, I'm narrating I'm getting the minifigure guy out, but anyways, yeah. So I do really like this set. It's a fun set. Literally my favorite thing to do with this is just... It's so satisfying to me, and I don't know why, but the way the legs just splay out. I love legs that splay out, by the way. My favorite thing. I love legs. I love legs. Especially when you can... Yeah, you know what I mean. You know. Don't say that you don't. God, I love legs.